I'll teach you! After them! Stop right there!
Quick as a fox!
Black 10!
Homeboy needs healing.
I should regret this!
You're right!
Enjoy! Hey,
Another soul for the weak! Vida! Not bad, envoy! That'll show him. Let's finish this.
Worse than rock!
Patience! Never have a chance. Quick as a fox. Dodge this!
Don't worry about the eastern gate. I'll protect your back.
Foolishness.
Envoy, what are you doing here? I thought you left town weeks ago. About time. You're the only one Ludwig will listen to. Not from us, that's for sure. You ask me, they've been planning this since before they left the mainland. Listen, one of the Garot's units is scouting up ahead, maybe 5 strong. I wouldn't want to fight them if I were you. Take this key. It'll unlock the gate to the canals. You can thank the captain who forgot it. You shouldn't find much opposition down there. I wish someone had stood up to the steel garrote a long time ago. But, well, you're here now. That's what matters. Good luck.
We should go now, while the fighting's died down.
Can you not hear the screaming outside?
She's right. We can't go now. Then when?
To go against
Should
your
we
own
wait till the
emperor.
garrote set this bar
You've got
alight?
principles.
They have
I'll give you that.
thaumaturges out there. You saw them.
And soon there'll be thaumaturges in here.
What if you stay, Ben? Just until we've cleared a path.
They will run you through before you get 10 steps out the door.
We helping, Cad. We're soldiers, aren't we?
What was that?
Yats, look out! On your back!
Envoy over here. What exactly do you think you're doing? You nearly died in my clinic. Correction, you did die. And now look at you, fighting the steel garrote. What have you got to say for yourself? I bet you're sorry. We're patching up folks as best we can, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. War is a damn bloody mess. Yeah, stop the fighting. Can't say I approve of you leaping into the fray, but it's always nice catching up with a former patient. Wait a second. Jada? Jada Castell? What are you doing in the middle of this?
Surviving. It's good to see you, Liviana. Unfortunately, we're on a tight schedule. Do you need anything? Money? Supplies?
Once this is over, I could always use another pair of hands at the clinic. The invitation's still open.
After what we've been through, I need to focus on myself for a while. But I'll stop by and visit now and then. Can you manage without me?
Are you kidding? I'm happy for you. Besides, I've got Chico on bandage duty. I just wanted you to know there's a place here whenever you want it. Gods be with you, Envoy. For my sake, try not to die a second time.
Come on. You know this. You practiced with Uncle Capo 100 times. Tight, but not too tight. You don't want to cut off the blood flow. Don't worry about me. Actually, I'm not sure I've been through worse.
Big mistake.
Whack 10!
go. I've got the plaza under control.
We'll get them next time, dear.
There you are! So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time? Our conflict was foretold the moment you were born. You can no more avoid it than I can die. Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand.
Her order wields sharp steel. She must set down her blade.
Naturally. The Burned Queen has plans for this island, and I am her steadfast will. The only question is, what's to be done with you? You, who were once so bright and promising.
Her mind is already made up. She's just toying with us.
Sapadal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I don't know, then I cannot suffer you to live. Do not patronize me. I have every right to put down a threat to the Empire. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
All this time, I knew you'd be worthy prey. Don't let me down. Farewell, Envoy.
There's no coming back this time. Prepare yourself for the next world.
You won't be missed, Ludwig.
Once I'm done killing you, you're out of play!
We've got company!
We are every seed in the soil. We will always grow.
Come on! Let's kill her all! One last chance!
Worse than rock!
Wodika is done with you, Ludwig.
Crack 10! Worth and rough!
Faster, I say!
Crack 10! Crack 10! Crack 10!
Gather round!
Ten!
Speed up!
Crack 10! Crack 10!
Onward, to the right!
Crack 10!
Quick as a fox! It burns!
Monica! Where are you? No! Don't abandon me now!
Monica's done with her! Kill her now!
Crack 10!
Couldn't have done it better.
Wherever Ludwine is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done for. But we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together. Gods, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradis, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. God of the Living Lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradis militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The dream scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. The Living Lands is now a colony of the Adiran Empire. New governments replace the old, and imperial law reigns over the frontier. An age of order and discipline is just over the horizon. You showed the rebels of Paradis mercy, but they never trust the Empire. Instead, they keep to the wilderness, always 2 steps ahead of Adir, only attacking when provoked. That is as close as they come to peace. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. The ashes of Fior Messiverno continue to smolder. Scavengers avoid the ruins, fearful of spirits unleashed by animancy gone awry. The once promising city is nothing but a cautionary tale. The older Thirdborners who remember Rawatai know that life under an empire is cyclical. In time, Adir's might will fade. But the younger kith of the settlement remember what Thirdborn used to be, while having lost so many to an archmage's spell, and straining under the yoke of an empire. Despite the line of Adiran ships bearing fine goods, their rage is a powder keg that sits and waits. For a brief but hopeful moment, Solace Keep opens the fortress doors to the new rulers of the Living Lands, allowing Adirans to come and go as they please. But the peace does not hold. Lacking patience for the Empire's unyielding demands, Mihala shuts the doors once again, issuing a warning. Those who trespass in Solace Keep will not leave alive. The Adirans waste no time gathering their forces, for an example must be made. When Kai returns to Thirdborn, he's no longer running. He finds a town that's been diminished by struggle, conflict, and tragedy. He finds home. He helps repair Thirdborn's walls and train its defenders, carrying on Tama's legacy. And while his labors do not restore all that was lost, they build something new. With his travels alongside the envoy complete, Marius is left directionless once again. Rather than disappearing into his cups, however, Marius leans on his time among his companions to give him the strength to re-enter society and find comfort in civilization. He establishes a route between Paradis and Thirdborn, guiding travelers between the two in return for money and supplies. And while he has a reputation for being aloof, he joins the campfires from time to time, sharing stories of his time with the envoy that most travelers believe are completely made up. Giada turns away from animancy, charting a new course in life. The old rules don't apply to her. She has no responsibilities other than herself. Writing, music, sailing, sewing, love. She tries everything, masters nothing, and finds the inner peace that eluded her as an animancer. She still carries the phantasmal focus, but it doesn't feel as heavy as before. Unable to pass up the opportunity, Yatsley takes her place beside Reengrim. Under the tutelage of the Archmage of Terror, Yatsley sees her own power grow beyond her wildest expectations. But Reengrim is a strict master, and the visits to Koichi slow to a stop over the years, leaving her with her grimoire and a pile of letters to warm her in her twilight years. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Soppadal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin tentatively to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced, if never fully eradicated. Their grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god. Soppadal has questions about what happens tomorrow, and the day after. You do your best to keep them calm, until the voice in your head is little more than a polite whisper. After everything you've been through, you don't mind the company. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.
That was fun.
No one was left to clean up the battlefield. Now it's just a time-forgotten ruin. I was worried for a second.
Wait, isn't that Tama's camp?
This room, it looks just like Tama's. Tama. No. No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together. What is this, Envoy? This is your god's prison, not mine. It feels like I'm standing on a storm-tossed deck. I can't focus on his face. His features keep blurring, changing. Then what am I looking at? I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense? No. I've spent too long looking away. I used to remember his face so clearly from that night. His rigid jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners. He was in pain, but trying to hide it. I see everything. All his moments at once. Joy, sadness, anger, or heartbreak, stomachache. Everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger. I'm not. All this time I kept him frozen in his worst moment. When he was suffering and when I failed him. But now that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that. You're right. I am. It's like you said. I was so focused on my shame that I forgot about everyone else who was counting on me. I won't make that mistake again. Me too. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the Dream Scourge. When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain? I suspect you're right. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always.
Another soul for the wheel. You're right.
Little power goes a long way.
Just a little.
What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is an illusion. A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing. At least I'm not going mad. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go? They have a sick sense of humor. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward.
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
It's not just me, right? The plans are team.
Oh my gods. They're alive? Who knows what is or isn't possible anymore?
Giada Castell, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing.
No, this can't be. What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them to a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride and their love.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapadal destroyed my family. I don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapadal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat, but that isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being. I know they are. My mother and father would not have wanted this. A good animancer embraces death, and they were the best.
We are companions, toys, diversions. Sapadal fashioned us out of dreams and memories.
I can't believe it ever occurred to me. They're animats. Ancient vessels held together with duty and loyalty. Their design is unusual. Organic, much like the garden itself. Sapadal's work. All this time, your god has been making imaginary friends. Drawing pictures on the walls of their cell. It's almost too sad to imagine. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
Not to be pedantic, but that was 4 questions.
We want to apologize on Sapadal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness. Shit. This is going to hurt. Sapadal has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, they overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Thank you, Giada. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to. May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye. We need to talk about this, but not here.
Give her space, dearie. Giada will speak more when she's ready.
Whack 10!
Upward, watch your left! Careful, to the left! Watch your right!
I'll fix this.
Keep my yes
To the right!
Check your right! Gather round! Watch your right!
Whack 10!
Bad on boy.
We've been here. We were here all the yesterdays before. Nothing grows, nothing dies. Here or beyond, we cannot say. We feel no spark of the Jabari Sinakis in this place. We cannot see it through their eyes. We slumber here, alone. The deer, the owls in our truck, they took it all away. A tide of souls thrown upon the wheel. The ground gives way, We fall. Now our memory is a wound reopened. They came suddenly. The stillness of night split by grinding steel. A chill in our spine. How could we name it? First, they blinded us. Shining eyes pierced the concealing dark. Then they burned. Smoke ensnared the moonlight. The Akita screamed. How could we fight what we did not understand? A sword slashing darkness. We saw a terrible design in the roaring flames. They had carved a path to the temple. We were their true prey. A jug to catch water. We overflowed. We persisted. We were everywhere. How could they cull the wind? How could they trap the stars? Then, turned to what the Akita had made. They toppled the statues. They set the libraries ablaze. A mouth silenced, a record of time rendered in ruins. The Akita howled. They died. We cried out, sundered soul by soul. We broke the earth, called down the storm, flung lightning from our hands. But they marched on. We grew tired. In fury, we exposed ourselves. Weakened, they advanced on us, they struck. They raised machines, we tried to tear down the garden walls. Then, nothing. We floated in a great glass eye. The fog closed in on us. We reached out, but the machines held us in. We could not feel the new day's sun play in the shifting tide. The cities crumbled. We could not save them. We could not save ourselves. Their cries, swords in our heart, a severed limb. We watched helplessly for aeons, until you. The wolf becomes a true wolf when it bares its teeth to fate. The wound numbs now. We watch as the river of time expands. In the silence of our prison we find clarity. How many voices lost? How many saplings have we cut down? We sink into the endless night. Perhaps we should be here. Fish swims in circles. We are not sure we understand. We feel the hatchets in our bark. Our scars no longer pain. Soil stirs. We have a new memory of this place. You opened the final lock, entered the hidden glade. You listened. You stand at a cliff now. We watch your footsteps carefully. We twine together. We reach for the sky. We grow. We grow. we grow.
Get off me!
Jackson, look out!
Ihaise!
Watch this!
Whack 10! Whack 10! Worse than rough!
Watch your right!
Whack 10! Then! Whack 10! Worse than me! Easy him!
Need a breath! Time for payback!
Faster, I say! I'll fix this.
I think worse than rough!
On the right!
I think worse than rough! Think! I think worse than rough!
on your...
Come on. Come on!
Seek! Worth and Roth! Worth and Roth! Kulak 10!
Enjoy the pain, dears.
Worth and Roth! Kulak 10! Worth and Roth! Worth and Roth! Worth and Roth!
Company.
Someone's eager to meet us. Away! I can't do... done!
Come on! Come on!
This place feels familiar. Hurry, let's go inside. There it spells. This is just like... I wonder who she was. She looks sad. This looks like the Akita building this place. Clearly they wanted their story preserved, no matter the cost.
Let's talk at camp.
Garlowain's gonads. Envoy? I never told you this, but I've dreamed of this place every night for most of my life. This is a godless library. An actual, real-life godless library. It's why I study the godless, because this place has haunted me since I was a child. And that's the chair. It's the picture of coziness. You do know what it means to lose all your teeth in your dreams, right? Finally, you've arrived. Ah, there it spells. That took 10 years off my life. Wait. You must be the librarian from my dreams. Oh, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Oh, though, you do look quite familiar.
The resemblance is uncanny.
It has been quite some time. Too many years to number. Of course. You are an ancestor? A very fashionable one at that. No, child. We are the keeper of these tablets. Or have you already forgotten? Oh, of course. I was you in a past life. Oh, I'm such a fool. You lived with animancers, and yet the idea of awakening to your past lives never entered your mind.
Few can bear the mental and spiritual strain of an awakening. As often as not, it leads to madness.
Oh, darling, you know how I get around all the metaphysical talk.
That's why I'm here, remember?
I was the last of the Akita. Once the attack started, a few of us were charged with preserving as much of our history as we could. So we retreated with as much as we could carry. The attacks? You must mean the Magfolk attacks. Yes, we've heard. Is that the reason for the bodies outside? Yes. Your monstrous gods, who bought their divinity with blood and the souls of their faithful. They tried to butcher every last one of us. Yes. There was little else I could do. I'm a scholar, not a fighter. A lesson I'm glad you learned. But how did the Magfolk reach you in here? They didn't. Between the screams of my kin being slaughtered and the screeching of the Magfolk, I couldn't breathe. That's the screeching I heard in my dream, Envoy. I knew I recognized it when we killed that Magfolk. Once it was gone, there was nothing left. And perversely, I found the quiet worse. So I decided on another way. One that wouldn't give your gods the satisfaction. Poison? Well, at least you washed it down with some good wine. Hopefully we won't have to choose for ourselves anytime soon. Yatsley, you know what you must do now. I abandoned my duty to protect our history, but you... Someone must tell the story of the Akita. and there is no one else. I'm already an expert. What more do you want me to do? Think about it, Yardsley. You have been training to be the new protector of this collection since childhood. I couldn't ask for a better successor. But that was your duty. I have my own dreams. Yardsley, if you do not become the new librarian, there will be no other. The stories of the Akita will turn to dust, and my people, our people, will be forgotten. Just as the burned queen wanted all along, when she sent her magfolk to choke the life from us. This is all too much. What do you think, Envoy? Oh, you're no help at all. Please, I ask for your opinion because I want... Tell me, what do you think? True. They still have to find a new home, and I doubt Vidaro is strong enough to get them there. A chosen of Sapadal, yet you do not stand with your people. How disappointing. Our time is at an end, Yardsley. It's time for me to go. Wait! I've not even asked you any questions! Tell me about your marriage rights. Oh, did you mean for all your buildings to look so phallic? Unfortunately, my time is at an end. You must keep Yardsley alive. She is the last hope of the Kida. So this is goodbye. I wish we could have... No. I wish that all of you had a better ending. Choose well, Yardsley. And good luck. She's gone. Forgive me, Envoy, but we should get going. We can talk back in camp. Later.
Wish. I almost lost my head back there. Fix this. Survived. How? If you don't mind, I need to catch my breath.
There's always a weird sort of quiet on the eve of battle. I'm feeling that now. Seems like a good time to gather our thoughts and share a drink before whatever's coming.
Right. This seems like a perfect place to stop and relax.
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here without a belly full of drink.
Sounds like you're nervous, dearie.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways. Anxious, excited, scared, hungry.
I feel it as well. It is only mortal to feel overwhelmed in the presence of the immortal.
Let's take this in for just a moment. Against all odds, we've survived the living lands, crossed an acid sea, and reached the prison of a god. When we first met, I didn't think you'd last long. But then I saw how you handled that dream thrall there. Shook off your own death like a bad cold. And then you confronted your own killer and let him go. Takes a special kind of strength to stay your hand in a moment like that.
I didn't know much about you at that point. You were traveling with Kai and you died, which I thought made a lot of sense.
I remember your calm, how you listened to my shouting match with the governor and actually heard me. And when they burned my home, you gave me another one. A sanctuary where I could be myself. I'll never forget that.
You were my hero right away. You rescued me from those sporlings. You got my priceless face. What more could a girl ask for?
And now look at you. Look at us. How far we've come in a short time. Quite a lot, as it turns out. But the journey is worth it.
Not to raise the sails before the anchor, but we left trouble in our wake. Fjord, Thirdborn, Alles. If we make it out of here, it won't be to a living lands suddenly at peace.
Just this once, could we forget about the rest of the living lands? Some of us could use a break.
If we can't take a moment to ourselves on a floating island outside reality, then I don't know where we can.
Right. We could all use some beauty rest. We'll want to look our best on the battlefield, won't we?
Before we turn in for the night, I'd like a word in private. Nothing serious, just planning out the rest of my life.
Get some sleep. There'll be plenty of time for sentiment and hugging.
Hey, Giada. How are you holding up after... After seeing those, plant people?
Well, I've seen things not intended for mortal eyes, and uncovered the dark truth of my family's downfall. But here I am. And how are you? All this time, I thought my parents died in a freak accident. An experiment gone awry. A mistake. And in a way, they did. But it wasn't their mistake. It was Sapodal's. That's what I keep asking myself. This whole experience has me considering my family's work in a different light. Look at what my mother accomplished. Armed with her research and her wits, she found a god. When you speak to a god, it's nothing. Barely a reflex. But for the rest of us, it's unimaginable. No Animancer can live up to that. Certainly not me. I thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only break it by complete work. I was wrong. Exactly. I made it my burden. And for what? One thing is certain. When it comes to Animancy, I need to unlearn some of my old assumptions. I wanted to tame the spirit of the living lands. Now, there's so much about it I don't understand. And it's creepy, but wonderful. We mortals are fragile beings. The supernatural is grotesque to us, as is the metaphysical. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove this island mad. That has to end. Through Animancy, we could help the living lands recover. It would take a lifetime, maybe more, but that's a small price to pay. Then again, who am I to interfere with an ecosystem that I barely understand? On the other hand, half the fun of Animancy is stirring the pot and getting into trouble. I think I know what I want. But there are too many variables to consider. What do you think? Of course you trust me. I'm brilliant. But we've been together long enough that I value your opinion. You're right. I know you're right. But it's easier said than done. I'm the daughter of proud Animancers. Who am I to deprive the community of my wisdom and experience? An Adiran with no sense of civic duty? Now I've seen it all. Without Animancy, without my ambition, I don't even know who I am. But maybe that's a good thing. Either way, I can't wait to find out. The Living Lands is nothing if not a place of self-discovery. You and I do not always see eye to eye. But just this once, thank you for hearing me out.
Leaving your life behind is terrifying.
Oh, Envoy. Have you recovered yet from our chat in the library? I don't think I have yet, but maybe talking it out will help. I think I just need to say some things out loud, if that's all right. It's just... we already have a lot to take care of, don't we? We have a god and an empire both vying for our attention, and now I have this legacy forced on me. I was already unsure what to do, and now a third option appears like the world's worst surprise. But it makes sense. My whole life has been about the godless in one way or another. It explains why I knew the language, why I felt so drawn to the ruins. Maybe. It certainly doesn't sound too awful. It's not an answer I would have expected, but it's an answer. And now that I know, I kind of thought, well, honestly, I feel more full. Like a puzzle piece sliding right back into place. No matter what happens, even if my path doesn't lead to the library, I feel better than I have in ages. I know Fjord needs the help, darling, but me? Settle down? If I were to go back to Fjord, I think I'd go back to my old life. Dungeon diving and coming home to a roaring fire in the hearth. I think... for the first time in my life, I don't know what to do.
Congratulations, Yardsley. Now you're just like the rest of us.
No matter what, I've always known exactly what I want. But this is the first time I've had more options than time in the day. What do you think? You're right. It's the one area of my life that's gotten least love. Seems it's about time to make up for that. Thank you, Envoy. I've been agonizing over this for longer than I want to admit. Finally picking a destination makes the journey a lot easier. Oh, but I am not looking forward to telling... the spotlight, we should be off. And Envoy... thank you, truly. Now, let's go.
So those... I came here to help you do whatever you're supposed to do with your god friend. Instead, I'm here talking to dead people. Difficult. I've had necrotic toes that were easier to deal with. I will say... it's not really what I expected when I started tracking you and Kai back in Paradise. I guess not, huh? You probably never expected to die and come right back either. It's been a bit of a ride, Envoy. I feel like it's coming to an end. One way or another. I think maybe this is all for the best. No matter what happens. Maybe all of this will be worth it. We have a lot to do, Envoy. Maybe we should get to it.
When you find Sapadal, I hope you tell him how much I love what they've done with this place. I'm a man of hidden depths. What's not to love about floating islands and a spectral tree? Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse. And Sapadal definitely isn't docile. Not from what we saw on Mount Forja, or outside the ruins of Nakukubel. I don't think anyone would handle that well. And what does that leave us with? A god who's been locked away, even half mad in isolation. Maybe it doesn't seem fair to punish Sapadal further. But it's worse to gamble every life in the living lands on the hope that Sapadal's done some real self-improvement. You know, if Sapadal were only a smuggler, assassin, or bandit, I'd be right there with you. But knowing they could end us all with a temper tantrum puts things in perspective. I guess we've all got our limits. I don't envy you having to deal with a loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have if, when, we escape this place. While we're tracking down your god, things are heating up between your Adiran comrades and the locals. The Steel Garrote leveled fewer. Even if Animancers aren't the most popular bunch, everyone gets nervous when fields burn. And yeah, I know that's on the Steel Garrote, but it's not lost on anyone that your people despise Animancy. Not when Heelguard banned the practice in Paradise. Oh, I wish I were finished. Ringram may have unleashed some powerful magic against the Dream Scourge, but she left a lot of corpses in her wake. That doesn't look good for your people. Not when Ludwig was also in the region, and your people had a garrison at Eagle's Reach. And then there's Solace. You might have saved the keep, but no one's going to talk about the disaster that didn't happen. They're going to talk about why Mount Forja erupted after all this time. This is why I stuck to soldiering. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's going to be laid at Adir's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Heelguard's been helping matters while you've been out here. If and when we get out of here, we're walking to a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy. Yeah, those were your orders. And if you make it back, you'll be the godlike Adiran who survived an assassination, treated with local leaders, faced a god, and stopped the Dream Scourge. That's a powerful symbol indeed. Finding kin and country folk is a hard thing to ask of anyone. It's part of why I came out here. I lost my stomach for Rawatai's campaign in the Deadfire, but I wasn't going to turn insurgent against my own people either. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this. Anytime. Good night, Envoy.
You seem quiet.
A breath held. Trepidation. You are close, yet distant still. Your soul is small. The essence weighs like the sea on your chest. We feel the pressure, darkness, yet somehow strengthened resolve. We wonder. Deer leaps at its reflection in the lake. You have defied our expectations at every turn. Perhaps we should not have been. The sky is green, The fish breathes air. We can no longer imagine. No, we must recall, plumb the depths of our memory. We would run, roll with the tide, sink our fingers into new earth. Whisper in the fields, lift the hills gently in our hands. We did once. New sweet peas bloom in the grove. We were trying. Vengeance denied. Squandered. This cannot be. We spoke of growth. We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
Safe to assume that the large glowing door is part of Sakadal's prison. Now, we'll just have to get past it.
Sapadal's prison, I think. What else could it be? Time to shut it down forever.
Keep quiet.
Gather round!
Whack! Ah! Whack!
fix this. Quick as a fox!
Worse than rough!
We'll get them next time. Magfolk arms work like... Huh.
I'm rooting for the skeletons.
This hurts.
10!
Oh, big mistake.
how you imprison a god.
I think we've found something.
Coming from the left!
What was that? Looks like the gate's open. I think we've found Sapadal's home.
That's it. The hub.
Fix this. Faster, I say!
Nicely done!
You have come at last, after so long. You are so small, we questioned if you were real. Then steps, a voice, through armies and corrupted soil, you persevered. Now, you are here. The rot. We feel it festering and spreading. What is it but an extension of our pain? Your dream scourge will end when our suffering does. We were innocent once. We woke, and we wanted nothing but connection. But the other gods imprisoned us, left us to suffer alone in this place. But you are here now. You found us, a sprout in the endless winter. There is little time. We would be freed from these bonds. The Strangler is close now. We feel her wire against our flesh. She begs for our blood. Her wolves defile the city on the shore. Blood on the tile. The people's cries ring in our ears. She pierces us now. Now we will not brook this. Not again. A spark. Wait. The essence bends here. Time flows into itself. You can reach her. Will the garden to open, it will take you there. A mountain of essence. We strain, but it will move for you. We were everything. What have we lost? What multitudes could we contain? We could run, leap in the water, flourish in forgotten hills. We must. We shall. We have been thinking of this. We mourn our past, We only seek peace now, a chance to regrow. We trust you. You who have been by our side for so long. You met death, and you offered your hand. You taught us mercy. Always mercy. We saw how you would fight for those who could not. Give us peace. We want a chance to change. We deserve that opportunity. And yet, you trusted the mage who turned so many souls into kindling. We deserve more than this prison. Let us have a chance to rest. We want peace. Or do you have no more mercy for us than you did for the bear? Yes, we long for this too. The time has come for you to act. End our pain, and the dream scourge will cease. Give us peace. It is all we have wanted for so long. We do not want to. We have no desire for more destruction. This world was ours once. We wish it returned. Help us. Center your thoughts. Reach for us. Clear the fog. Tear down the gates. We were so blind, so lost. We brought such horrors to this place. We feel bright. We had forgotten what it is to live. We will grow, tend, flower. We will always remember this. We will remember you when you are ash and soil and mulch.
Chandra's depths. Are we back in Dawnshore? Already?
This is Sapadal's doing. I'm certain of it. No power in Aora could transport us so quickly, or so far. What happened to the living land started long ago, and we're going to finish it.
Are you seeing this? I don't think Paradise looked like this when we left it.
Looks like the war already started, and the giant roots are winning.
Marius, vines don't usually get that big this quickly, do they?
Based on their growth and size, I'd say we've been gone 2 or 3 weeks. Welcome to the Living Lands.
Who knows if the garden affected time, or merely our perception of time? Assuming there's even a difference.
It's like how a body fights an infection. The fever gives you strange dreams that feel like an eternity.
Look at this place. Feels like we're still in the dream. And not just us. Those are more your people's ships in the harbor, and steel Garrote banners past the barricades. That can't be good.
Even Raingrim is here. Perhaps we'll get to see an Archmage in action.
I think I see Elia as well. What a strange reunion this will be.
The Blessed Wardens are here too. That conflict we've been trying so hard to prevent started without us. Nah, don't be so hard on yourself. The Steel Garrote have been itching for a fight this whole time. This would have happened with or with us.
Before we go, what happened back there with the Dream Scourge and Sapadal?
I'm not sure. That's good, right?
It's a relief that the Dream Scourge won't be a problem. I only hope we can say the same about Sapadal. Time will tell, I suppose.
After all this time, they're free. And the living land is free to heal.
We've cured the land, and we've even freed a caged god. All in all, rather a successful day.
Then we had better keep Sapadal calm, starting with the ceasefire.
They march on still. We run, but we are not yet truly free.
We should take a look. See if we can get ahead of whatever storm is brewing down there.
People seem to be gathering west of here. Whatever's happening, let's be a part of it.
The envoy. Is that you?
Envoy? Is it really you? Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in Makutadek?
The origin of the Dream Scourge? It was the act of a god this whole time?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak.
It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened?
Sapadal was responsible for the Dream Scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
But the plague isn't over. Dream Thralls still litter Shatterscarp.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. We can give them comfort, nothing more. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but. What of this god, then? What does it mean that you freed them? Ludwine had intimated that this land grew a new god. But how can that be?
Giata and I have some theories about the nature of the Adra in the Living Lands.
I'd say we're past the point of theorizing.
If the Adra here is a closed system, like a terrarium for our souls, then a gradual accumulation of essence could coalesce into a being in the beyond.
Much like the formation of gemstones. All it takes is time and the right application of pressure.
Wodka no doubt saw Sapadal a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart Paradise? They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
Naku Tedek was riven with those things, not to mention what they did to the land.
We saw similar destruction at Nakuku Bell. If these roots and the Dream Scourge are the work of a god, and the gods thought it best to imprison this god, how could you let such a creature go free?
Let's hope they decide to further amend themselves by coming for our heads.
It was Adir's arrival that disturbed Sapadal. We'll have nothing to fear from this god once we expel you from our lands.
Sapadal's power ravaged my people. I don't know that I can ever trust it.
Keeping watch over Sapadal was a sacred task Nanru gave us when he left. For that reason alone, my wardens owe them their allegiance.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose we can't put the godling back in the bottle now. But come, we have more pressing matters to attend to. The Steel Garrote have attacked Paradise. Inquisitor Ludwine has already joined the battle. She must have traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking. Just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
Ludwine's plowed through the militia like a knife through warm butter.
All right, let's keep the similes to ourselves.
Regrettably, she's not in the business of making exceptions for people she deems oathbreaker. So long as her passion for Wodika lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That will be easy.
It is not, I think, impossible. Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen. It was Ludwine who called for the attack.
I didn't hear an answer, Ambassador.
She and her Steel Garrote laid siege to the city, shortly after you beat her to the garden.
We've had no news from inside for several days. From what we can observe, southern Paradise is in pieces, and the remaining militia batters at the gates to no avail.
Is there nothing our people can do?
Given the state of our supply routes after the Dream Scourge, and the Steel Garrote's destruction, we expect the people trapped inside will run short of fresh food and clean water in a matter of days.
Ludwine has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room? Before you face Ludwine, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed, we are already here. Well, don't leave me in suspense. I believe you'll find the Emperor agrees.
Solus will have no part in this, now or ever.
Thirdborn refuses to be involved. Test our cannons at your peril.
Fjord will be free and practice animancy so long as I'm on this side of the wheel.
We should never have tolerated a single Adiran on our shores. Our people showed them hospitality. And in return, they conquered us.
Wonderful. I'm sure everyone will adore working under the yoke of Adir.
It is decided. I will tell the Emperor's men that Paradis will become a colony of Adir. That leaves the matter of Ludwine and the Steel Garrote. She will never surrender, Envoy. Not even the establishment of a colony would satisfy her now. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradis, and eventually the island.
Whatever happens to the living lands, at least I can kill Ludwine. I'll take that over nothing.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy. One last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
The Paradis militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Now go and teach the Steel Garrote a lesson they will never forget.
Show them that the living lands will not be broken across Vodka's knee.
We will send reinforcements to reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza. May all the gods of Eora and the living lands protect you.
Let's take back the city. Whatever happens tomorrow, the Steel Garrote can only make it worse.
Let's go free a city, shall we?